Leo tightened the straps of his spacesuit as the shuttle descended toward the bright, green and blue planet. Zephyria looked alive from above, with glowing forests, winding rivers, and floating islands in the sky. He could feel his heart pounding in his chest. This was no ordinary mission. He was not just exploring a new world. He was representing Earth to a civilization far more advanced than anything humans had ever met. The shuttle touched down smoothly on a landing platform that shimmered like crystal. The doors opened with a soft hiss, and Leo stepped out into warm sunlight that felt different from Earth's. The air was clean and sweet, carrying a faint fragrance of unknown flowers. He took a deep breath and felt a sense of excitement mixed with nervousness. Every step he took echoed slightly on the polished surface beneath him. Before him stood a figure who made Leo stop in his tracks. A tall alien with bright silver hair and luminous blue eyes walked toward him with calm confidence. Her robes glimmered under the sun, flowing like liquid metal. She smiled warmly, but her gaze seemed to look right through him. "Welcome, human," she said in perfect English. Her voice was gentle, but carried a natural authority. "I am Princess Nira of Zephyria." Leo bowed slightly, unsure of the proper custom but wanting to show respect. "I'm honored to meet you, Princess Nira," he replied. His voice sounded small compared to her calm presence. Nira gestured toward the landing platform, inviting him to follow. "The council awaits you. You are far from home, but Zephyria respects those who travel for courage and curiosity." As they walked, Leo noticed the city around him. Buildings floated above the ground, connected by bridges that shimmered with light. Vehicles moved silently through the air. People of Zephyria walked gracefully, their skin glowing in soft colors that changed with their mood. Everything was beautiful and strange, unlike anything he had imagined. Leo felt a mix of awe and nervousness. Humans had always dreamed of reaching the stars, but now that he was here, he realized how small he felt in the face of an entire civilization. Nira noticed his hesitation and smiled. "Do not worry, human. Curiosity is valued more than perfection here. You will learn quickly." They reached a grand building that seemed to float in the air, held up by beams of light. Inside, the walls were smooth and glowing, and the air hummed softly with energy. Several Zephyrian council members awaited him, all dressed in bright ceremonial robes. They bowed slightly as Leo entered. "Human Leo, welcome to Zephyria," said the head counselor, a tall figure with green-tinted skin. "We have watched your journey with interest. Your courage to travel across the stars is rare. We hope to learn from you, as we know you may learn from us." Leo nodded, trying to keep his composure. "I'm grateful for your welcome, Earth. Hopes for friendship and understanding with Zephyria." Nira stepped forward. "This is only the beginning. There is much to show you. But first, you must understand our customs. Here, we do not simply meet strangers. We recognize those whose hearts are brave and whose minds are curious. You have already impressed us by arriving." Leo felt a strange warmth in his chest. Being appreciated for courage and curiosity felt different than anything on Earth. On his planet, people valued power and wealth more than these qualities. On Zephyria, it seemed intelligence, bravery, and kindness mattered most. After the introductions, Nira led him to a balcony overlooking the city. The view took Leo's breath away. Floating gardens, waterfalls suspended in the sky, and glowing creatures flying through the air made the city look alive. The sun reflected off the glass-like buildings in rainbow colors. Zephyria is a world of balance, Nira explained. Technology, nature, and life exist together. Every being has a role, and every action matters. Humans are rare visitors here. Your kind brings a perspective we have never experienced before. Leo felt both honored and anxious. He had been trained for this mission, but meeting a civilization so advanced was beyond training. He wanted to ask many questions, but he did not want to seem rude. Nira tilted her head, reading his hesitation. "Do not be afraid to ask. We value curiosity. It is the first sign of wisdom." He smiled nervously. "Thank you, Princess. I have many questions. How do you travel between floating islands? How do your citizens change color? How is your energy so clean and powerful?" Nira laughed softly, a sound like music. All in good time, human. You will see wonders, but you must also learn our ways. It is not just about what you see. It is about how you act, how you think, and how you treat others. Only then will you understand Zephyria. Leo listened carefully. He realized that the mission was more than diplomacy. This was a test of character. His actions here would show Zephyria what humans were truly capable of. As they walked back into the building, a guard approached them. He bowed and said something in Zephyrian, then looked at Leo. Nira translated quickly, "This is your room, human. Rest and prepare. Tomorrow you will meet my sister." Leo paused. "Your sister?" Nira's smile widened. "Yes, Princess Mara. She is curious about humans as well. You are not the first visitor she has welcomed, but she has never met one like you. It will be interesting." Leo nodded, unsure what to expect. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Meeting one princess was already intimidating, and now another? He could only hope he could make a good impression. That evening, in his room, Leo looked out at the floating city under the twin moons of Zephyria. The lights reflected on the rivers below, and the sky was filled with stars. He felt small, yet important. He was a human, alone in a world far from home. And he knew that what he did here could change not only his life, but also the lives of many on Zephyria. He thought about Earth, about the people who believed he could not survive this mission. He smiled quietly. Humans had a way of surprising others, even when they did not expect it. Leo stood and walked to the window, determined. Tomorrow, he would meet Princess Mara. He would show Zephyria that humans were not only curious and brave, but capable of understanding, kindness, and wisdom. He did not yet know what challenges awaited him, but he felt ready. As the moons rose higher in the sky, casting a soft light over the floating gardens, Leo whispered to himself, "I will not let anyone down. Humans have a place among the stars," and with that promise, he prepared to face the adventure that awaited him on Zephyria. The next morning, Leo awoke to a soft light that filled his room. The air was warmer than Earth, and faint sounds of the city below reached his ears. Today, he would meet Princess Mara. He dressed carefully, trying to appear confident, but his stomach fluttered with nerves. A servant arrived to escort him to the palace garden. The hallways glowed softly with light, and the walls seemed to hum quietly as they passed. Leo tried to remember all he had learned about Zephyrian customs, but his mind kept drifting to one question. What would this sister be like when they entered the garden? Leo stopped in amazement. The place was larger than any park he had ever seen. Trees floated a few feet above the ground, their leaves glowing softly. Flowers bloomed in impossible colors, and streams of crystal-clear water wound around the paths. In the center, standing on a marble platform, was Princess Mara. She was tall and graceful, with hair that shimmered gold in the sunlight. Her eyes were green like Zephyria's rivers, and her smile was warm yet mischievous. Leo felt a mix of awe and nervousness. "Welcome, human," Mara said, her voice gentle but playful. "I have heard much about you. You are brave to travel so far from home." Leo bowed slightly, trying to hide how nervous he felt. "It is an honor to meet you, Princess Mara. Your world is beautiful, and I am grateful for your welcome." Mara laughed softly, a sound like the ringing of small bells. "Flattery is expected from humans, but courage and curiosity matter more. Come, let us walk. There is much to see, and I want to understand you as much as you will understand Zephyria." Leo followed her along the floating paths. Birds with translucent wings flew beside them, and small creatures peeked from behind glowing bushes. He could not stop staring at the beauty of it all. But Mara seemed to notice and smile. "You look amazed," she said. "Do not be afraid to feel wonder. It is a quality we admire in humans. Your kind sees the world differently, and that difference is important." They reached a circular platform at the center of the garden. The air shimmered slightly, as if charged with energy. Mara gestured for him to stand in the middle. "Human Leo," she said. "There is a tradition here. When someone is chosen, they must face a challenge. This is not to test strength or skill alone. but to see the heart and mind of the one chosen. Are you ready? Leo swallowed hard. I am ready. Mara's expression softened. Good. First, you must show creativity. You will see a series of objects before you. Combine them in any way to solve a problem I present. A platform rose from the ground, displaying strange devices that glowed with energy. Each seemed useless on its own. But Mara explained the scenario. A village on Zephyria was blocked by a river that had suddenly risen. The goal was to create a safe path using the devices. Leo studied the devices carefully. His mind raced as he tried different combinations. Finally, he arranged them to form a bridge that used energy fields and floating platforms. The bridge extended across the water, stable and bright. Mara clapped her hands softly. Impressive. You think beyond what is ordinary. Creativity is valued, but courage will matter even more. Leo nodded, feeling a small spark of pride. He had passed the first test. Mara led him to the next challenge. A holographic simulation appeared, showing a village under threat from a sudden storm. Zephyrian children were in danger, and the simulation required someone to rescue them. Leo's heart pounded. Without hesitation, he jumped into action. He directed floating platforms to lift the children to safety and guided villagers to higher ground. His decisions were quick but careful, showing both courage and empathy. Mara watched closely, her eyes shining. Humans are remarkable. You act with both mind and heart. That is rare here. Many can think, many can act, but few can combine. Both after the simulation ended, Leo wiped sweat from his brow, feeling exhausted but satisfied. He had shown courage, but Mara was not done. Now, the final test, she said. You will interact with one of Zephyria's native creatures. Show kindness and understanding. Only then will your trial be complete. A creature appeared. It had the body of a small dragon, but its scales glowed softly, and it had large, curious eyes. The creature looked frightened and hesitant. Leo knelt slowly, keeping his movements gentle. Hello there, he said softly. I mean no harm. Can we be friends? The creature sniffed the air and then slowly approached him. Leo extended a hand, letting it feel his touch. He spoke calmly, using gentle tones. The creature relaxed and even nuzzled him. Mara's smile was wide. You see beyond fear and appearances. You respect life in all its forms. That is the heart of Zephyria. Leo stood and faced her. Thank you, Princess Mara. I want to understand your world. I want to help, if I can. Mara nodded. And that is why we have chosen you. Not for strength, not for power, but for your character. You are human, yet you show qualities we admire most. That is why both my sister and I have taken interest in you. Leo felt a sudden shock. Both your sister and you? He asked, unsure if he heard correctly. Mara laughed softly. Yes. Nira is curious about your courage, and I am curious about your heart. You are a rare visitor. Human, you see the world in ways we cannot fully predict. That is why we both wish to guide you, to learn from you, and to test you further. Leo felt overwhelmed. He had not expected this. He had traveled across the stars to represent Earth. But now he found himself in a world where two princesses had chosen him, not out of duty, but because they saw something special in him. Mara stepped closer. Do not be afraid. Human, this is not a burden, but an honor. You will see wonders, face challenges, and grow. And in return, you will teach us about your people. That is the balance of Zephyria. Leo nodded slowly, still processing everything. He realized that this world valued more than technology or power. It valued bravery, kindness, and wisdom. Humans had a place here, not because of strength, but because of their ability to surprise and adapt. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting light across the floating gardens, Leo felt a sense of purpose he had never known. This was more than a mission. It was a chance to prove that humans could be more than resilient. They could be allies, teachers, and friends. Mara looked at him with a smile that mixed mischief and admiration. Tomorrow, you will meet the council again. You will be tested further, but for now, rest. You have done well, human Leo. You have shown us that humans are more than we imagine. Leo bowed slightly. Thank you, Princess Mara. I will do my best. As he walked back to his room, he looked over the gardens and floating city once more. He thought of Earth, of the people who believed humans were weak in the vast universe. He smiled quietly. Humans could surprise anyone, even civilizations as advanced as Zephyria. Leo knew that this was only the beginning of an incredible journey, one that would test his mind, his courage, and his heart. And as he prepared for the days ahead, he felt ready. He was human, far from home, chosen by two sisters of Zephyria, and determined to show that humans had a place among the stars. The next morning, Leo awoke to a soft breeze that carried the scent of Zephyria's floating gardens. Today, he would meet the council again and learn more about the world he had entered. He dressed quickly, his mind still buzzing from the trials. With Princess Mara, he had passed her challenges, yet a feeling of uncertainty lingered. What else awaited him? A servant led him through the palace hallways, their paths illuminated by soft glowing lines that traced the floors. The walls hummed with energy, and Leo felt a constant sense of life flowing through the building. It was as if the palace itself was alive. He arrived at the council chamber, a vast space suspended in the air with no visible floor beneath. Floating platforms formed a circle where the council members awaited him. Each member had a unique appearance, their colors shifting gently as if reflecting their thoughts. "Welcome back, human Leo," said the head counselor, the green-tinted figure who had greeted him earlier. "You have met Princess Mara and demonstrated courage, creativity, and kindness. Today, we will share some truths about Zephyria. Your understanding will be tested further." Leo nodded, feeling both nervous and determined. "I'm ready, council members." Nira entered the chamber, her silver hair shining in the soft light. Mara followed, smiling warmly at Leo. Both sisters' presence made him feel a strange mix of respect and curiosity. "The world of Zephyria is not without challenges," Nira said. "We have lived peacefully for centuries, but threats exist beyond our floating islands. Some civilizations do not value life or balance as we do. You must understand this if you are to help us." Leo listened carefully, realizing that his mission had more weight than he had imagined. He was not only a guest but a potential ally. In a civilization that valued courage and wisdom, Mara stepped forward. "There are creatures and forces in Zephyria that cannot be controlled by strength alone. Understanding, strategy, and heart are required. We have chosen you because humans have these qualities in ways that even we cannot fully predict." Leo felt both honored and anxious. "I will do my best to help. I want to learn everything I can." Nira nodded. "Good. First, you must understand the energy of Zephyria. It flows through our rivers, our air, and even through the hearts of our people. It is a source of life, balance, and power. But it is fragile. Those who seek to harm us may try to disrupt this energy." A holographic projection appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed glowing lines of energy connecting cities, forests, and islands. Leo could see how the energy flowed, almost like veins through the planet. Some areas flickered weakly, indicating places where the balance had been disturbed. "This is our world," Mara explained. "Each action affects the balance. Your rival has already caused ripples, but positive ones. Humans are unpredictable, and that unpredictability can help restore what has been disrupted." Leo studied the projection carefully. "How can I help?" he asked. "I'm only one person." Nira smiled gently. "It is not about size or strength. It is about thinking, acting, and understanding. The challenges you face will be tests of mind and heart. You will learn the ways of Zephyria, and your decisions will matter." The council members nodded in agreement. Mara then added, "We must also tell you why both of us are involved. Nira and I have roles that require attention to different aspects of Zephyria. Nira focuses on strategy and diplomacy, while I focus on understanding and emotion. Together, we see the whole picture. You, human Leo, are rare because you can bridge both. You can think and feel, act and understand. That is why we have chosen you." Leo took a deep breath. He realized the sisters were not rivals, but complementary forces. Their interest in him was not personal in the usual sense. It was a recognition of his abilities and character. Suddenly, the projection shifted. A shadowed area appeared on the map, flickering with dark energy. This is a disturbance. Nira explained. A group from beyond Zephyria seeks to take control of the energy flows. They do not understand balance. They see only power. You will face them eventually, but first, you must learn to navigate Zephyria's ways. Leo's heart pounded. I understand. What should I do first? Mara smiled. Tomorrow, you will travel with guides through the floating forests to the Valley of Light. There, you will learn to sense energy flows, communicate with creatures, and understand the subtle ways Zephyria maintains balance. These skills are essential before facing any threat. Leo nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The thought of traveling through floating forests and learning new abilities thrilled him. But he also knew he would face unknown dangers. Nira stepped closer. Remember, human Leo, you are not alone. We watch, guide, and learn with you. Your courage and wisdom are rare. Trust yourself as much as we trust you. After the council meeting ended, the sisters escorted Leo to a balcony overlooking the city. The sun reflected on the floating islands, and rivers shimmered with energy lines. The view was breathtaking. Mara turned to him. You did well today. Few humans could comprehend Zephyria's energy or see its delicate balance. You did more than understand. You showed patience, curiosity, and respect. That is why you have earned our trust. Leo smiled. Thank you, Princess Mara. I feel like I am only beginning to understand, but I want to learn as much as I can. Nira placed a hand on his shoulder gently. That is all we ask. Learn, observe, and act with heart. That is the essence of Zephyria. You will face challenges, but your qualities will guide you. Leo felt a deep sense of purpose. He realized this journey was not about victory or fame. It was about understanding a world that valued life, balance, and wisdom. He was here not only as a visitor, but as a participant in something greater than himself. As the sun set over the floating gardens, Leo looked at the sisters. He understood their bond, their purpose, and their vision for Zephyria. He also understood his own place in it. Humans could make a difference, not through strength alone, but through courage, curiosity, and compassion. That night, as Leo prepared to rest, he thought about the coming journey through the Valley of Light. He imagined the creatures, the glowing trees, and the energy flows he would learn to sense. He felt nervous, but also determined. He was far from Earth, but he was exactly where he needed to be. For the first time, Leo felt a true connection to a world beyond his own. Zephyria was alive, not just with energy, but with hope, and he had a role to play in protecting it. He whispered to himself, I will do my best. Humans can rise to any challenge, even among the stars. With that thought, he closed his eyes, ready to face whatever Zephyria had in store. The adventure was only beginning, and he knew the choices he made would shape not only his future, but the future of this incredible world. The morning sun bathed Zephyria in soft golden light as Leo prepared for his journey. Today, he would travel to the Valley of Light with Princess Mara, Princess Nira, and to guides from the council. The guides were tall and graceful, moving as if they floated. Their calm expressions gave Leo a sense of reassurance. He stepped onto the platform that would carry them across the floating forests. The air was cool and fresh, filled with scents of flowers he had never seen before. He looked down and saw the ground far below, a patchwork of forests, rivers, and glowing streams. It was a beautiful, dizzying sight. Are you ready, human Leo? Mara asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Leo nodded. I am ready. This place is amazing. Nira smiled. Patience is important here. The Valley of Light is not only beautiful but alive. It will respond to those who enter with respect and care. The platform lifted silently into the air, carrying them over the forests. Leo could see creatures with wings like glass and tails that glowed faintly. Birds with long, shimmering feathers darted between floating trees. He felt as if he had entered another world entirely. After an hour of flight, the platform descended to a path made of floating stones. The valley of light stretched before them. Bathed in soft illumination, the trees glowed with energy, and small streams reflected radiant colors. The valley hummed softly, a sound that filled Leo with calm energy. Mara, step forward. This is where you will begin your lessons. The energy of Zephyria flows strongly here. You will learn to sense it, communicate with creatures, and understand the balance that keeps life in harmony. Leo followed her along the glowing paths. The guides explained that each step must be taken with awareness. Even small disturbances could affect the flow of energy. Leo concentrated, noticing faint currents in the air and gentle pulses beneath his feet. As they walked deeper into the valley, a group of creatures approached. They were small, with round bodies and wings that sparkled like sunlight on water. Their eyes reflected curiosity, and they made soft melodic sounds. Greet them, Nira instructed. They sense your energy. Approach with kindness and calmness. Leo knelt slowly and extended his hand. Hello, I'm Leo. I come in peace. The creatures chirped softly and circled him, brushing against his hands and arms. Leo felt a warm, comforting sensation. It was as if the creatures were sharing their energy, teaching him to feel the life around him. He realized that understanding Zephyria required patience and empathy, not only observation. Mara watched him closely. You are learning quickly. Humans can sense connections in ways that many Zephyrians cannot. That is why your presence here is important. You can see life as a whole. Leo smiled, feeling proud. I want to learn everything. I want to help protect this world. Nira nodded. Good. Your training begins with the flow of energy. Follow your instincts, but remember the balance. Every action matters. They continued walking and arrived at a large clearing where the ground glowed with shifting patterns of light. Streams of energy flowed in visible currents, creating paths that twisted and turned. Mara explained that the energy of Zephyria was like a river, constantly moving and changing. By learning to sense it, Leo could help maintain balance and even guide energy to heal or protect. Try to feel the energy beneath your feet, Mara instructed. Do not think too much. Let it move through you. Leo closed his eyes and focused. At first, he felt nothing, but then small pulses of warmth traveled up his legs. He could sense the flow beneath him, shifting and swirling like water. He took a deep breath and imagined guiding it gently. Slowly, the patterns on the ground shifted to form a simple spiral, glowing softly. Well done, Nira said. Humans have a natural ability to sense patterns. You are beginning to understand. The lessons continued for hours. Leo learned to communicate with the valley's creatures, to follow the energy streams, and to direct them carefully. He discovered that every living thing, every plant, and every river contributed to the flow. If he acted carelessly, the balance could falter. By late afternoon, Leo was exhausted but exhilarated. He had never felt such a connection with the world before. He realized that courage alone was not enough. Understanding and patience were equally important. Mara smiled at him. You have done well today. The Valley of Light responds to those who respect it. Humans can adapt in ways even Zephyrians sometimes cannot. That is why both Nira and I saw potential in you. Leo looked around, noticing how the light in the valley seemed to dance in response to his presence. It feels alive, he said, softly, like it is watching and listening. Nira placed a hand on his shoulder. It is alive. Zephyria is a world of energy, balance, and connection. Every action, every choice affects it. That is why your training is important. You will face challenges that test your mind, heart, and spirit. The valley is your first lesson in understanding the consequences of every decision. Leo felt a deep sense of responsibility. He realized that his journey was no longer just about learning or adventure. It was about protecting life, maintaining harmony, and proving that humans could rise to challenges far beyond their world. As the sun began to set, casting golden and purple hues across the valley, the group prepared to camp. Small floating platforms appeared to serve as rest areas, and the creatures of the valley returned to their homes. Leo sat quietly, reflecting on the day's lessons. Mara crouched beside him. You are learning faster than I expected. But remember, Understanding energy is only part of the journey. You will face choices that test your character. The way you respond will define your place in Zephyria. Leo nodded. I understand. I will do my best to act wisely and with care. Nira smiled. That is all we ask. Courage and curiosity brought you here. Wisdom and empathy will guide you forward. That night, as Leo rested under the glowing trees, he felt a profound connection to Zephyria. It was not just a place of beauty or power. It was alive, thinking, and responding to those who respected it. He knew that humans could make a difference, not through strength alone, but through understanding, compassion, and careful action. As he drifted into sleep, he imagined the challenges ahead. He would face tests that required courage, creativity, and heart. He would learn more about the sisters, their bond, and the threats that loomed over Zephyria. But he felt ready. For the first time, Leo understood the truth of the sisters' choice. They had chosen not just a visitor, but a human who could rise to the needs of their world. He whispered to himself, I will prove that humans belong among the stars. I will protect this world and learn its secrets. And with that thought, Leo slept peacefully, ready to face the Valley of Light's next lesson, ready to grow, and ready to show that humans could indeed rise to challenges far beyond their home. The next morning, Leo awoke to the soft hum of the Valley of Light. The trees glowed gently, and the stream shimmered with moving energy. Today was different. The sisters had told him he would face his first real trial. It was a step beyond learning and observation. It would test his courage, wisdom, and understanding of Zephyria's energy. After breakfast, Mara and Nira led him to a clearing where the energy currents twisted into complex patterns. This is the trial of balance, Mara explained. It will challenge your ability to sense energy, act carefully, and make quick decisions. You must navigate the path without disrupting the flow of life. Mistakes will show you how delicate this world is. Leo looked at the patterns. The glowing streams seemed almost alive, weaving around the valley and through the trees. The guides motioned for him to begin. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. At first, the path seemed simple. He followed the energy currents, feeling their flow beneath his feet. The patterns shifted as he moved, responding to his presence. But soon, the currents became more complex, twisting in multiple directions and intersecting at sharp angles. Leo realized that a single wrong step could disturb the balance. Trust yourself. Nira's voice echoed softly in his mind. Feel the flow. Do not fight it. Leo focused. He closed his eyes briefly and let the energy guide him. His feet moved carefully, stepping on the currents in rhythm with their pulses. He felt a rush of exhilaration as he navigated a particularly tricky turn. He smiled, realizing that he could sense the flow more clearly than before. Suddenly, the currents shifted violently. A shadow appeared among the glowing paths. It was a creature unlike any Leo had seen before. Its body was dark, made of energy that seemed unstable. It hissed and moved quickly toward him. Stay calm, Mara called. It is part of the trial. Do not fight it with force. Think and act with balance. Leo's heart pounded. He had faced strange creatures before, but this one felt dangerous. He remembered the lessons of the Valley of Light. Energy flows could be guided, not fought. He extended his hands and focused on calming the creature, letting his own energy connect with it. The creature paused, its dark pulses slowing. Leo guided the energy around it, creating a safe path for both of them. The creature's aggressive stance softened, and it moved away, following the new flow. Leo exhaled, realizing he had succeeded without violence. Well done, Nira said, her smile proud. You see that strength alone is not the answer. Understanding, patience, and connection are what allow you to succeed in Zephyria. Leo nodded, feeling a mix of relief and accomplishment. I understand. It is not about fighting. It is about guiding and respecting the flow. Mara stepped forward. The next part of the trial will test your decision-making. You will encounter situations where choices have immediate consequences. Observe carefully, act wisely, and trust your instincts. They walked deeper into the clearing. Leo saw multiple paths, each leading through intricate patterns of energy and glowing trees. Some paths pulsed strongly with life, while others flickered weakly. Leo understood that he had to choose carefully. A sudden shimmer appeared on one path. A small creature trapped in unstable energy currents struggled to escape. Leo's instinct was to rush forward and grab it, but he remembered the lessons. Acting too quickly could disrupt the flow and harm the creature. He closed his eyes, felt the energy, and slowly guided a safe current around the creature. It moved into stable energy and chirped in gratitude. Leo felt a sense of joy. He realized that every choice, no matter how small, mattered. Excellent, Mara said. You are learning the essence of Zephyria. Decisions affect not only the immediate situation, but the balance of life around you. Humans have the ability to act with foresight and empathy. That is your strength. Leo continued through the trial. Facing challenges that tested his mind and heart, he guided unstable creatures, adjusted shifting energy flows, and navigated difficult paths. Each success gave him confidence, and each mistake taught him humility. As the trial neared its end, a large shadow fell across the clearing. A massive creature, made entirely of chaotic energy, blocked the final path. Its eyes glowed with intense light, and it moved with a force that threatened to disrupt the entire valley. This is the final test, Nera said. You must face it with understanding and courage. Do not rely on strength alone. Leo stepped forward. He felt fear, but he also felt the support of the valley, the sisters, and the creatures he had helped. He took a deep breath and extended his hands. He connected with the chaotic energy, letting his own calm flow merge with it. The creature thrashed at first, but Leo maintained his focus. Slowly, the chaos softened, and the energy began to stabilize. The creature's eyes shifted from aggressive light to gentle pulses, and it moved aside, allowing Leo to pass. Mara and Nera smiled, proud and relieved. You have completed the trial of balance, Mara said. Humans are capable of remarkable understanding. You have shown courage, empathy, and wisdom. That is why we chose you. Leo felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He realized that the trial was not only about skill, but also about character. It had tested his ability to stay calm, think clearly, and act with heart. He had proven that humans could rise to challenges even in worlds far beyond their own. After the trial, the sisters led Leo to a quiet part of the valley. The glowing trees reflected soft light, and the streams hummed gently. Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. You have done well, Leo. Your first trial shows that humans can bring balance and understanding. The challenges ahead will be more difficult, but you are ready to face them. Nera added, remember, human Leo, that every choice you make will shape not only your path but the world around you. Courage is important, but wisdom and empathy are what make a true hero. You have begun to show these qualities. Leo nodded, feeling proud but also humble. He realized that his journey in Zephyria was only beginning. The trial of balance had taught him the importance of connection, patience, and respect. It had shown him that humans could rise to challenges not through power alone, but through understanding and heart. As the sun set over the Valley of Light, Leo sat quietly, reflecting on the day. He felt a bond with Zephyria, with the creatures, and with the sisters. He understood the weight of his role and the importance of the lessons he was learning. He whispered to himself, I will continue to grow. I will face the challenges ahead and prove that humans belong among the stars. And with that thought, Leo prepared for the journey ahead, ready to face trials, protect Zephyria, and discover the full potential of his courage and wisdom. The day after completing the trial of balance, Leo awoke with a feeling of anticipation. The valley was calm, bathed in soft morning light, but he sensed a tension beneath the surface. Mara and Nera had gathered him early, their expressions serious. There is something you must see, Mara said. A hidden threat has been discovered near the eastern borders of Zephyria. It is subtle, but it could disrupt the balance if left unchecked. Leo's heart raced. He had faced trials, creatures, and challenges, but a threat to the entire world felt different. What kind of threat? He asked. Nira gestured toward a glowing map projected in the air. Tiny pulses of light moved across it, showing currents of energy. It is an instability in the energy flow, likely caused by a force unknown to us. It is not aggressive yet, but it grows. If we do not act, it could spread and harm Zephyria. Leo studied the map. He realized the energy pulses were uneven, flickering in ways that made the sisters uneasy. "How can I help?" he asked. Mara smiled faintly. "Your ability to sense and guide energy makes you uniquely suited to investigate. We will accompany you, but your human perspective may allow us to see things we might overlook." They prepared for the journey east, traveling through floating forests and glowing streams. Leo felt the valley's energy shifting as they moved closer to the instability. The currents were uneven, and small creatures scurried away, sensing the disturbance. As they approached the source, Leo noticed strange formations in the energy streams. They twisted unnaturally, forming spikes and jagged patterns. The trees nearby flickered, their glow dimming. Mara and Nira exchanged a glance, silently agreeing that this was serious. "This is unlike anything we have faced before," Nira said. "It is intelligent in a way, but unpredictable. We must study it carefully before taking action." Leo knelt near a flickering stream, extending his hands. He focused, feeling the chaotic pulses. It was difficult, but slowly, he traced the pattern to a central point. There, he found a dense cluster of unstable energy, pulsating and writhing, as if alive. Mara and Nira watched him closely. "Can you guide it?" Mara asked. Leo hesitated. The energy was wild and unpredictable, but he remembered his training in the Valley of Light: patience, observation, and connection. He extended his hands further and let his calm energy flow into the disturbance. Slowly, the chaotic pulses began to respond, forming a pattern that was more stable but still weak. "It is working," Nira said softly. "You are stabilizing it without forcing it. That is the right approach." Leo smiled, feeling a surge of confidence. "I can do more. I just need to understand it better." Hours passed as Leo carefully guided the unstable energy. He discovered that the source was not a creature or a natural phenomenon, but a disturbance caused by an imbalance in multiple energy streams. It was as if the valley itself was trying to correct the problem, but it needed a human touch to complete the process. As he worked, Mara explained, "This is why humans are valuable. Your ability to see connections outside of normal patterns allows you to respond in ways even we cannot. You are showing that courage, intelligence, and empathy together can solve problems beyond strength alone." Leo continued his work, tracing every pulse and weaving a stable flow through the jagged currents. The valley responded. Trees brightened, streams glowed steadily, and small creatures returned to their homes. The disturbance shrank, becoming a small, manageable cluster. Suddenly, the energy pulsed violently, knocking Leo off balance. A surge of chaotic light shot toward them, and he realized that the threat was not fully gone. It was testing him, responding to his actions in ways that were unpredictable. "You must remain calm," Mara shouted. "Do not let fear control your actions." Leo focused. He felt the energy again, this time not just as chaotic pulses, but as patterns that reacted to his thoughts and movements. Slowly, he guided the disturbance into a stable spiral, containing it without destroying it. The energy calmed completely, and the valley's flow returned to normal. Mara and Nira approached, their faces filled with pride. "You did it," Mara said. "You have neutralized a threat that could have grown uncontrollably. Your human insight and courage have saved Zephyria." Leo felt a mix of relief and pride. He realized that this was more than a test. It was proof that humans could play a critical role in maintaining balance, not through force, but through intelligence, empathy, and careful action. Nira placed a hand on his shoulder. "The threat may return, and others may appear, but today, you have shown that humans can rise to challenges that require more than strength. You are becoming a protector of Zephyria, not just a visitor." Leo nodded. "I understand. I will continue to learn and be ready for anything." As they returned to the valley's center, Mara and Nira discussed what they had observed. "The disturbance was a warning," Mara said. "Something in Zephyria's senses changes. possibly from forces beyond our knowledge. We must remain vigilant, and Leo's role will be crucial. Leo listened carefully. He realized that the sisters' decision to involve him was not only about his potential, but also about the unique perspective humans bring. He had solved a problem that required intuition, patience, and empathy, qualities that made humans remarkable. That evening, as they rested, Leo walked through the valley alone. He reflected on the events of the day. He had faced danger, uncertainty, and complex challenges, and he had succeeded. But he also knew that this was only the beginning. Zephyria was a living world full of surprises, and humans had a role to play that no other species could fill in the same way. He sat by a glowing stream, watching the energy currents move in harmony. He whispered to himself, "Humans can make a difference. We can rise to challenges no one expects. I will continue to protect this world and learn all that I can." The sisters watched from a distance, their expressions proud. They knew that Leo was growing into a protector, not just through training, but through the qualities that made humans exceptional. His courage, insight, and empathy had made him a bridge between worlds. And as the night fell over the Valley of Light, Leo felt ready for whatever came next. The hidden threat had shown him the importance of awareness, patience, and understanding. He knew that the challenges ahead would be greater, but he also knew that humans had the potential to rise above, to guide, and to protect even the most extraordinary worlds. With determination in his heart, Leo closed his eyes, feeling the pulse of Zephyria beneath him. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of the valley, part of its energy, and part of its future. The morning sun rose over Zephyria, casting golden light on the Valley of Light. Leo felt a mixture of excitement and determination. He had faced trials, guided chaotic energy, and learned the ways of this world. Yet, today, Mara and Nira told him the final challenge awaited. "This will be your greatest test," Mara said. "It is not just about skill or courage. It will challenge your heart, your mind, and your understanding of balance. Only by trusting yourself and the energy of Zephyria can you succeed." Leo nodded. He felt ready. His experiences had prepared him, and he trusted his instincts. The sisters led him to a high plateau overlooking the valley. From there, the energy flows formed patterns that stretched into the horizon. But at the center of these patterns was a dark mass of unstable energy, far larger and more dangerous than anything Leo had seen before. "This is the heart of chaos," Nira explained. "It represents imbalance and uncertainty. If it spreads, it could disrupt all life in Zephyria. You must stabilize it, or the world will suffer." Leo's heart pounded. He had faced creatures, unstable currents, and hidden threats, but this was different. This was the essence of the world itself in danger. He took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the valley, and stepped forward. The heart of chaos pulsed violently, sending waves of energy across the plateau. Trees bent under the force, streams swirled unnaturally, and the ground trembled. Leo focused on the calm within himself. He reached out with his hands and let his energy merge with the chaotic pulses. At first, the heart resisted. Its energy thrashed and shifted unpredictably. Leo felt fear rise, but he reminded himself of everything he had learned: patience, observation, connection. He closed his eyes, letting his mind clear, and focused solely on understanding the patterns within. The chaos slowly. He felt the heart respond. Small pulses synchronized with his energy, and the wild currents became less aggressive. Leo realized that the heart was not evil, it was a reflection of imbalance, needing guidance and care. Mara and Nira watched in silence. "He is touching the core without forcing it," Mara whispered. "That is the way. Humans see patterns differently, and that insight is what makes him special." Hours passed. Leo worked tirelessly, guiding the energy, weaving harmony into the heart. Every pulse, every wave required attention. One misstep could trigger a surge, undoing all progress. But Leo remained calm. He remembered the creatures he had helped, the paths he had navigated, and the hidden threat he had neutralized. Each experience gave him insight into handling the heart. As the sun reached its highest point, A sudden surge of energy shot from the heart toward him. Leo stumbled but held his ground. The energy was stronger than anything before. Testing his focus and courage, he took a deep breath and let his own energy flow freely. Merging with the surge instead of resisting it, the heart began to change. Its chaotic pulses formed a rhythmic pattern, glowing softly and harmoniously. Leo smiled. Sensing the shift, the valley responded, the trees straightened, streams flowed gently, and the creatures returned to their paths. The heart of chaos was no longer a threat. It had become a source of balanced energy. Mara and Nira stepped forward, their faces filled with pride. "You have succeeded, Leo," Nira said. "You have faced the ultimate challenge and restored balance. Humans are capable of understanding and guiding forces beyond imagination. Today, you have proven it." Leo felt a deep sense of accomplishment and humility. He realized that his journey in Zephyria was not about power alone. It was about heart, mind, and the ability to see connections others might miss. He had brought harmony where chaos threatened to reign, showing the unique strengths of humans. Mara took his hand. "There is one more truth you must know," she said gently. "We chose you not only because of your courage and insight, but because you represent what humans can offer the universe. Your presence here has shown that humanity can bring balance, understanding, and hope to worlds beyond its own." Leo felt a warm glow of pride and responsibility. "I understand," he said. "I will continue to learn and protect Zephyria in any world that needs guidance." Nira smiled. "The heart of chaos was a reflection of uncertainty in all worlds. You have shown that courage, empathy, and intelligence together can overcome it. That is a lesson not only for Zephyria, but for humans everywhere." The sisters then revealed a final secret. The choice of two sisters was not random. Mara explained, "It was to show that humans can unite perspectives, balance emotions, and handle complex situations. Your connection with both of us has strengthened your understanding and prepared you for challenges that require cooperation and insight." Leo nodded, understanding the depth of their plan. The sisters had tested not only his strength and courage, but also his empathy, patience, and ability to see patterns. He had passed every test, proving that humans could rise to extraordinary challenges. As the sun began to set over the valley, Leo walked through the glowing forests. Feeling the energy of Zephyria surround him, he thought about everything he had faced: the trials, the creatures, the hidden threat, and the heart of chaos. Each experience had taught him something valuable, and he felt ready for any future challenge. He paused by a stream, watching the water shimmer with harmonious energy. He whispered to himself, "Humans can make a difference. We can rise to challenges no one expects. I will carry these lessons with me wherever I go." Mara and Nira approached, their expressions gentle and proud. "You have grown beyond our expectations," Mara said. "The valley is safer because of you, and Zephyria will thrive. Remember, human, your courage and insight are gifts that can touch many worlds." Leo felt a sense of belonging. He was no longer just a visitor. He was a part of Zephyria's story, a protector of its balance, and an example of human potential. The journey had changed him, showing that humans could face the unknown and bring harmony to even the most extraordinary worlds. As the stars began to appear above the valley, Leo looked up, feeling a connection not only to Zephyria but to the universe itself. He knew that challenges would continue, but he also knew that humans could rise above, guide, and protect. With courage, empathy, and wisdom, anything was possible. And so, under the light of 1,000 glowing stars, Leo made a promise to himself and to Zephyria. He would continue to grow, continue to protect, and continue to prove that humans could shine brightly among the stars. The sisters watched, knowing that their choice had been the right one. Humanity had shown its strength, not through power, but through heart and understanding. And Leo was living proof. Zephyria was safe, the heart of chaos transformed. And a human had proven that even in the farthest corners of the universe, courage, insight, and empathy could make a difference. Leo took a final deep breath, feeling the valley's energy pulse with harmony. The journey had been long, The challenge is difficult, but he had learned the greatest lesson of all. Humans have the power to bring balance, hope, and light wherever they go.